today. I want to review a product actually, not a video editing software or anything like that, something a little different. I want to share with you a webcam that I purchased called the Logitech Brio. There are tons of reviews of this product online. Some of them are quite dated, have been reviewed 2, maybe 3 years ago. I don't know when it first came out. I just purchased it. The main reason why I purchased it was to have some alternatives to recording, basically. I mean, I'm pretty low tech. I don't have a lot of equipment, so when I do stuff like this, it's usually I'm usually using my iPhone. I don't even use my camcorder anymore. I do a lot of screen recording with ScreenFlow and Camtasia. So sometimes I use the FaceTime recorder, but you know, the quality of the recording is usually not that great. iPhone works fine. I wanted something that was a little practical. I don't really do a lot of conference calling, but this webcam idea, I thought, hey, you know, maybe I can use this in multiple ways. And that's essentially my approach to everything. Again, I'm practical, I'm self-taught, don't have a lot of equipment. I'm gonna get something, it's gotta have some multiple value for me. And this Logitech webcam is actually a pretty good solution. One, because it gives you 4K video, which is pretty rare for a webcam. It's unique in its own category in that regard. It comes with a little clip-on for your computer. And I mean, it's a pretty manageable size. It also comes with a little privacy cover. So this thing sort of clips onto the top of it. And then you can use this little window here to just sort of flip it down over the lens. And that's, of course, if you plan to keep this attached to your computer for an extensive period of time. I have a laptop, so I doubt if I will ever use it that way. Once I'm done recording, I'll probably be taking it off at that point. But it's a nice little feature to have, I guess. It comes with a USB cable, so it's adaptable to different types of USB ports. You have this one in here that just sort of plugs into the back of the camera, like so. And plug it into your computer and you're good to go. Another thing that's really nice about this is that it can also be positioned on a tripod. So that's actually something that was of interest to me because, again, I like flexibility. I like to be able to multi-purpose things. So if having to sit in front of a laptop, you know, that's the only way I can use this camera, you know, it's a little suspect for me. Here, you actually do have that option. So this little clip-on, it looks like it's permanently attached, but it actually comes off. I wouldn't try and screw it though. It just sort of like snaps into place. Even though there's a screw inside, this little adapter here really is not intended to screw on it. It just pops on and off. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this off. Try to be careful with this, but you know, you kind of have to like wiggle it from side to side, and you can see it's a little like T-shaped, and it just sort of fits right into the groove that's underneath here. But there is a screw on the bottom of this, so once you take the adapter off, you can then take the camera. I'm going to take this off for a second, and you can screw this right onto a mount. So here's another little desktop clamp that I use for microphones and various different things like that. But this is a standard tripod mount, so you can go ahead and just screw that right on a tripod or something like this that is compatible to a tripod mount. And you know, I screw it on here like this, and I use it as a second camera. So in some cases, or sometimes I'll use it as my primary camera. You would not believe the quality of the video with this webcam. It's probably better than my iPhone, to tell you the truth. I mean, that's how good the quality is. I haven't done any extensive recording for it with this camera, so I'm not quite sure, you know, if you were recording for, you know, 20 minutes or 30 minutes, how it would look as a final product. But I've examined the quality of the video. Pretty darn awesome. I mean, this camera is no joke. It's again, it's 4K video, and when you compare it to like your FaceTime camera, I mean, the built-in FaceTime camera on a Mac, and I'm mainly focusing on the Mac right now, is 720p. So that's your resolution. That's what you get. When you're using this baby, you get 1080p video, 60 frames per second or 30 frames per second, whatever you want to use. And when you're using a third-party software, say like ScreenFlow or Camtasia, you get 4K video with this camera. So it's pretty awesome. It also has audio microphones built into this, dual microphones built in, so you get noise canceling quality to the audio recording, which is nice. And if you want to get a sense of what that sounds like, I would just try doing a test and comparing the microphones that are built into this with, say, the native microphone on your Mac, for example. You'll notice right away that the internal microphones on your Mac pick up a lot more of the ambient noise. Somehow this baby manages not to pick up that noise. The only thing you may notice is a slightly lower sound with the audio level. That's the only thing that I've really noticed, but the fact that it takes out the ambient noise is pretty remarkable. So that's another nice thing about this little baby. It also comes with software. So I just purchased this, and I noticed that when I went to the Logitech website to download the software, that I noticed that it was relatively recent. So I think it was released on April 24th. And this version of the software works fine for me. I noticed when I was listening to some reviews online that they were having some issues with the software not working or doing what it was supposed to do. I had no problems with it. When you look at the software, you'll see that you have some flexibility for controlling the brightness and the contrast and so forth. You have these arrow buttons that enable you to establish different points of views. You can zoom in, zoom out. It comes with some pretty cool features. And what's really nice about it is that as you're setting up, you can set up your settings in the camera settings app and then quit out of it. And you'll notice that when you launch the camera, that those settings that you had set up, whether, for example, if you were zoomed in on yourself, that view would show up when you select Logitech Brio as your option for filming. So yeah, keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be open. And I think that's important too, in case you are a little concerned about the energy that your computer is using while recording. What I'm most impressed about is the quality of the video. And again, just compare FaceTime, launch FaceTime, you're gonna get 720p. Look at the quality of your video, do a screenshot or whatever, or maybe I'll just post one up and then compare that to what the video quality looks like when you are shooting with this baby. I mean, comparing the two, it's literally like night and day. It's really that different. So yeah, this is Tim Brown. Thanks for letting me share this with you. I love sharing things that I think are a benefit to me, that I think might be a benefit to you. So check me out at myblepodcast.com. I try to post that website, update that website at least once a week. But you can always, of course, check me out at youtube.com/myblepodcast. See you later.